fellow patriots, comrades, friends, the fourth estate, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Kila mtu punch juu, because that is my slogan. Comrades power, comrades viva. I, being the legitimate and the consummate paradigm shifter, I want to articulate issues here before the members of the fourth estate. Every patriot and comrade should listen to this keenly and avidly, because this is the lucidity of my sacrosanct and robust point. Mr. Speaker, without fear of contradiction, let me begin by saying this. Multiple of times our comrades have been afraid of the cops, the police, which has been posed to Jacaranda grounds. But I will say this, Mr. Speaker, that there comes a time that everyone will not be live in fear, will not be in live with fear. Mr. Speaker, the only weapon God ever gave a human being, Mr. Speaker, is not money, because we can make money. The only weapon that God ever gave a human being is not a detonator bomb. We can make a detonator. The only weapon God ever gave a human being is not a panga or a spear, because we can make them. But Mr. Speaker, the only weapon, the special weapon God ever gave a human being is a brain, because we can never manufacture one. So don't fear the cops. Don't fear the police. What we are saying now is of the benefit of the police fraternity. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this out of which the sanity, out of which the tranquility, out of which the sobriety must be observed in this bunge, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the second point that I must articulate, robust, is the killing, the police brutality of the killing of the innocent Kenyans demonstrating for their own right. Mr. Speaker, back to the matter. We have two matters at hand. Number one, the chasing away or the lockout of the CS, the rogue CS. Mr. Speaker, you will bear me a witness that none other than Kithure Kindiki wrote the outcome of the presidential election verdict. I'm saying this with confidence. I'm saying this, that all patriots, comrades and friends should listen to me crystal clear, that no one wrote the verdict and the outcome of the presidential election at the Supreme Court, none other than Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki wrote the verdict. So to purport and to insinuate that the so-called president of the rogue regime, the crooked regime, by the tyrants, William Samoei Ruto locking Moses Kuria Kindiki out, is just but a mere PR show. There is no way Kithure Kindiki can be locked out. He was locked out to portray the PR show to Kenyans that William Ruto is up to the task. If William Ruto is up to the task as he purports, he ought to have cracked the whip, Mr. Speaker. He ought to have cracked the whip by sending them away, taking into the parliament to look at and to investigate the atrocity for this to be out. And the new cabinet CS there should be pointed out, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the second matter is the financial bill. Mr. Speaker was there last Sunday, because I normally come here only Sunday because I'm busy at work. But last Sunday, Mr. Speaker, I stated categorically that this financial act bill will affect Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, is not the laughing matter of our comrades. and we cannot say the obvious, but we must dig down to know exactly how will this financial act favor us or affect us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on Sunday, after articulating the issue here, I went back to my house and we all watched Citizen TV, Mr. Speaker. Citizen TV air out exactly what I articulated here. Mr. Speaker, for a very good example. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, for a very good example. If you are a civil servant in this nation, Kenya, this land, Kenya, you are being taxed 3 times. And Mr. Speaker, there is no way, and I will beg to disagree, I use the word beg to disagree with the gentleman in red saying there are some factors beneficial to the common wananchi, at their merits and demerits about the Financial Act bill. There is none, Mr. Speaker, because he failed to outline the merits of the financial bill. But I will say the demerits of the Financial Act bill. On that news of last Sunday, Citizen outlined how the civil servant has been affected by the Financial Act bill. A very good example. If you are a civil servant here, you know all times, always, absently, Mr. Speaker, the NSSF have been deducting 200 shillings at the rate of at the standard of my work. They have been deducting 200 shillings, Mr. Speaker, for the NSSF, that is National Security Social Fund, Mr. Speaker. Last week, Mr. Speaker, the government is deducting 180 shillings from 200 shillings, Mr. Speaker. So there is no way somebody can tell me, can come here to purport that we have merits in that Financial Bill Act. Mr. Speaker, I will finalize my point with a sacrosanct and a robust point. This is the lucidity part of it, Mr. Speaker. I must not forget to say that the Azimio fraternity, Mr. Speaker, Comrades Power, Comrades Viva, I'm articulating this issue. Listen to me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I must not forget to say here that we don't need a dialogue to solve this issue, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how many minutes do I have, Mr. Speaker? 2 minutes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we don't need a dialogue to iron this issue. Mr. Speaker, Azimio fraternity should give a priority to Gaucho. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, Azimio fraternity should give a priority to Comrade Gaucho, Nuru Okanga, almost 1 hour, Kimbi, and I, the consummate paradigm shifter, to dialogue with these hypnotic zombies. Because intellectuality, they can never match Kalonzo Musyoka, they can never match Raila Odinga. But in the political equilibrium, our intellectual capacity matches the Imani Chungwa. I can debate robustly, I can debate keenly and avidly with Imani Ichungwa. So Raila Odinga should turn off the idea of dialogue. Last but not least, Mr. Speaker, before I raise my case, everywhere in the whole world, this is an advice to my only His Excellency, enigmatic Raila Amolo Odinga, the consummate and the legitimate president of Kenya. Don't agree to this dialogue. Dialogue is just but the mayor show, the PR show, that they are ready to dialogue. Raila Odinga is a good schemer, and don't lose hope in the dialogue. Raila Odinga is not meant for the dialogue. He's only trying to show the whole world that he's ready to dialogue for the peace, for the sake of peace of this country. But Raila knows where the goal is, and eventually the third round of the demonstration will erupt. And if it will erupt, it will lead to what we call the catastrophic and scorched revolution of this world. We will leave nothing to chances. Fellow comrades and patriots, never lose hope. When called upon to participate in the third wave of the demonstration, let us all come out and demonstrate. We will burn this country. And if it's a matter of, I hear William Ruto talking yesterday, bravely, talking yesterday, that atatukalia ngumu. Atakalia nani ngumu? If he wants to rule this country, chest thumping, let him and the police all kill us through the police brutality. Let us all die. This country will remain empty, full of demons. William Ruto will lead the demons if he's not careful. Let this country burn. I raise my cause. Viva Congress.